Good morning, class. Hope my screen is visible and I'm audible. So, last lecture we have started with the last bit of the chapter, that is the metadata. We have discussed what is metadata. So, simply remember metadata is nothing but data of data. So, we are calling it as what? Metadata. So, what are the advantages? Why we need the metadata, or what are the challenges with the metadata? Types of metadata. These all the parts we are going to discuss in this unit, basically. So, the points what we are going to cover is definition, types, role of metadata, and some challenges of metadata. These points we are going to discuss. And before that, we have covered the concept of grouping constructs. Last lecture we have covered this. What is abstract class? How to represent it? What are the advantages of this? So simply remember, abstract class is a class that has no direct instances, but whose descendant classes have direct instances. We will call them as what? Abstract classes. So concrete class is a class that is intent, that is it can have direct instances. A concrete class may have abstract subclass, but they must have a concrete descendants. So only concrete classes may be leaf classes in inheritance tree. So whenever we are talking about the inheritance concept, that is what trying to represent the relationship between the parent and child class. The way we will arrange the classes, depending on the way we will organize the classes, that is called as a grouping the classes. Based on that, we will have a different means maybe as a parent class, maybe as a child class. So see here, this class, subclass, these are the subclass directly related to this. So we are represented in terms of inheritance options called as what generalizations. This is moving up the sides. So this is the leaf class, non-leaf class considered to the this particular class. So that becomes a superclass. The details we have discussed in the previous lectures. Now moving towards the next operation, that is metadata. If any doubt regarding these options, please let me know. We have started with metadata. So what is metadata? So basically metadata is a data in a data warehouse to represent other data. That is, it is referred as data about data. We will call simply as a metadata. It is summarized that leads to detailed data. So the simplest part is what simple lines. But if you want to know more information about that, if you just click over there, it will lead to certain detailed information. That is what we see in the websites or this hyperlink. So links to the other links, maybe pages, maybe to the requirement of the data. Similarly, that we will represent some summary, but in detailed information, if you want to go, you can just click over there, you will get the detailed information. So that is what also the basic idea to understand the concept of metadata. So what it represent, it is just a simple roadmap about the data warehouse, a huge database we will call simply as a data warehouse. So it is summarized data. It is summarized data that leads to detailed data. It roadmap about data warehouse created for the data names and definition of given data warehouses. Act as a directory to help the decision support system to locate the content of a data warehouse. So see here, this is just as in a directory. Metadata is nothing but directory. Just like if we take simple example of a book. So each and every book is having an index. What it indicates, the index, total number of chapters in that book, chapter 1 to chapter 10, for example. Chapter 1 is starting from which page, ending on which page. This all information is available in your index. Similarly, the entire data that you are going to store in the database and collection of different databases, we are simply calling as a data warehouse. So that huge data will be recorded here or will be stored here, and where what data is get stored, this all information will be maintained in one small unit. We will simply call it as what a metadata, which is similar concept of index of a particular book. So simply remember this. Then the next part is what are the different types of a metadata. Means the data you are going to represent, but that data may be categorized into three parts, or basically we can say types. The first as a business metadata, second as a technical metadata, and third as a operation metadata. Now what is the meaning of this business metadata? As the name suggests, you can clear about this. So it contains the data ownership information. So we can call this who belongs to that, means who is having the admin console over there. So admin writes this all informations, you will come to know about this business metadata. It will have some prototypes over there, that prototypes defines the rules regulations for operation on that data in terms of as a business definition. Then next is changing policies, then source system name and descriptions, report name and description obtained from business user. All business detail informations will be stored in the business metadata. For example, if I take simple example about the Infosys as an company. So all the information they have, a huge information is related with the Infosys. So only the perspective is what, suppose my interest is to take some shares from Infosys. So related to that only I want to know. So that is what the business metadata, where I will came to know about what is the performance of Infosys in last quarter, what may be the probable income, total expenses, total profit they have. This all information will be only shown to the investors. So that kind of information will be maintained as a separate. We are calling them as a business metadata. Next type, that is called as a operational metadata. Now we will discuss about this, and then that operational metadata is what I can say that we'll continue with the same example. Infosys having different portfolios. They may be working on their own product, they may be work as a supportive for, or we can say service based profile. Inside that again service based different technologies are there. So one technology they are handling as a part of a data security, one may be based on entire software development life cycle. So different portfolios are there. So how information, means how the resources, because the company recruitment takes place at one side. So that entire recruitment, the person, whether it is he or she is having a particular project, if that particular is about to complete or a project is already completed, assign new project to him or her, these all things need to be get maintained, and that all information will be get managed under the title as an operational metadata. So what it does, it include currency of a data and data linkage. That data lineage, sorry, that lineage means nothing but stop. It also maintains the currency of a data, means whether the data is active, achieved, or purged. That is what removed means with respect to particular operation that I said to you. Then lineage of data means the history of data, migrate and transformation on it. So what we can say, the present situations, the entire scenario will be discussed as a operational metadata. For example, remember Infosys working on different projects. So for example, one project A, how many resources are working on project A, what is the status of the project, what technology they are going to use, what will be the probable date for the completion of the project. All these things will be get maintained and recorded as a part of operation metadata. Next, technical metadata, as its name suggests. It includes database system names, table and column names and size, data types, allowed values. It includes structural information such as a primary key, foreign key attribute, and indices. So what I said, warehouse is nothing but simply collection of huge databases. So for each database, you can have your own system, means the way, or simply you can have, you have defined it in your own style. But with respect to database, some characteristics that we are supposed to maintain, like what is the primary key for that particular database, what is the procedure, or who is having different rights over there based on their access policies. This all information will be recorded. Then what are the different columns, means how many columns are there in the particular database, what is the size allowed it. These all information will be maintained as a part of a technical metadata. So these are the three basic things that we need to know about the metadata. So simply data of data we will call a metadata, collection of different will put together to understand it. And at this moment we can say that there are three different types of a metadata. The first one as business metadata, second as technical metadata, and third as an operational metadata. So quickly go through this. If any doubt, please let me know. If any doubt, please let me know. We're discussing about the metadata. Second part we have discussed, that is operational metadata. And third as a technical metadata. So if any doubt, any query there, please let me know. Now, what is the role of metadata, means why there is need to go for the metadata, किंवा metadata असण्याचे फायदे काय होतात हे आपण डिस्कस करणार आहोत. So simply remember, the entire metadata is act as a dictionary directory, sorry. Similarly, just like a book, if I take example of a book is having an index. So just referring the index, I can take care about the entire book. So suppose I just want to get quick access to the chapter number 2. So I'll just go to the index. I will check whether the chapter number 2 is starting on which page. I can directly go to that particular page. So simply handling the data can becomes very easier when we will have a metadata. It directly helps the decision support system to allocate the content of the data warehouse, means where the space is available, what type of size it is having, and accordingly that it will decide where we can locate it. It helps in the mapping of a data when data transformed from operational environment to data warehouse environment. It means simply that you have to do some kind of an operations. So to perform the operations, you just need to know where the data is stored. Then you can get quickly access to that particular data, update it, or whatever the operations you want to do, like maybe that operations, maybe your what we can say, update, delete, whatever you want to do, you can perform it very easily by maintaining its it helps in summarization between current detailed data and highly summarized data. It's used as a query tools, used as reporting tools. Also, it can be used as a extraction and cleaning tools. So these are the advantages what we are getting when we are going with the metadata. So simply remember, it is means advantages what we are getting. So simply remember the example of your index having the book. Just quickly, it can able to help us. So it can be used as a query tools, means by understanding the entire scenario of your database. If you want to take the summary, it can be done quickly. Now, what is the problem or challenges with metadata? The challenge is simple. The simple challenge is what we can say the security. If you got the access to your metadata, it will give maybe the chances to get an access to entire data warehouse also. It stores the data correctly, defined for the further uses. Whatever the data you have, but how to utilize it for your upcoming what we can say the projects. So suppose I have a collection of the details various projects, but it may be creating a problems knowing that total data you have is very huge, and how to use that data itself may be a challenging task. So stores the data correctly, defined for the further uses, but will be challenging in the sense of a security. It may be challenging in terms of its what we can say access, how to get the access to the particular scenario. There, this may be acting as a challenging parts regarding metadata. Uh, Last lecture we already discussed this, but we'll quickly revise it. Candidate keys and inheritance concept. So candidate key is nothing but as a minimal set of attribute that uniquely identifies an object or link. So whatever the part we are going to represent, the different attributes we are going to use. So that attribute means named properties. So it may be a link or it may be a relation, whatever you have assigned. It has some characteristics. So collection of such small characteristics unique to that particular movements, we will simply call them as a candidate key. So class may have one or more candidate keys, each of which may have different combinations and numbers of attributes. Each candidate key constrains the instance in a class that we have discussed. How to represent it? Open and close the curly bracket is the representation to represent the candidate keys. These are the functional relationship between entities of an object, which includes objects, classes, attributes, links, and associations. The constraint restricts the values that entities can assume. Simple constraints may be placed in object model and complex may be in functional model. So what we can say, how we are going to represent the particular scenario. In upcoming parts, I will I'll try to represent one diagram where we are going to use the relationship between them. While we are discussing the relationship, we will discuss about the candidate key. So how we are going to associate the different scenarios. So this is the functional relationship between entities of an ऑब्जेक्ट मॉडेल. एक पर्टिक्युलर आपण जर ऑब्जेक्ट डायग्राम घेतली किंवा क्लास डायग्राम घेतली, तर त्या क्लास डायग्राम मध्ये जे काही वेगवेगळे क्लासेस आपण रिप्रेझेंट करतोय किंवा ऑब्जेक्ट डायग्राम मध्ये आपण वेगवेगळे ऑब्जेक्ट्स रिप्रेझेंट करणार आहोत, त्या ऑब्जेक्ट्स मध्ये जे काही रिलेशन आपण डिफाइन करू ऍज पर द बिझनेस नीड किंवा काही रूल्स रेग्युलेशन्स नुसार, त्यामध्ये रिलेशन डिफाइन करताना आपण काही काय म्हणू शकतो, आपण त्याला काही प्रॉपर्टीज सेट करतो. म्हणजे फॉर एक्झाम्पल कार हा क्लास आहे आणि दुसरा क्लास आहे माझा डोअर्स आणि तिसरा क्लास आहे माझा इंजिन. मग आता इंजिन हा पण गाडीचा पार्ट आहे, कारचा पार्ट आहे, डोअर्स हा पण गाडीचा पार्ट आहे. पण त्यामध्ये मी काय म्हणतोय, इंजिन किती असणार आहे, एक्झॅक्टली 1. डोअर्स किती असू शकतील डिपेंडिंग ऑन नीड. मग कदाचित मिनिमम एक तरी डोअर असेल किंवा डिपेंड्स, यू कॅन decide it to have a range also, certain range. So that relation between the class car and the class doors, that defines a minimum set of some attributes. So that minimum set of attributes is nothing but we are calling as what, candidate key. I hope it clear to you. The next is inheritance, as the name suggests, maintaining parent-child relationship. So we have a hierarchy over there, arranging the classes. Maybe like super class, like this. There's a super what we can say, grandparents, super then parents and their wards. So we are maintaining it in a order. So according to that, we can have a different types of inheritance. So let's see. What are the types of inheritances? As the name suggests, single inheritance. A subclass derives from single superclass. एकच class simply. Multiple inheritance. A subclass derives from more than one superclass. एका क्लास पासून एका क्लास पेक्षा दोन म्हणू शकतो आपण किंवा तीन मे बी एका क्लासच्या प्रॉपर्टीज ह्या त्या पर्टिक्युलर क्लास पासून न घेता एकापेक्षा जास्त क्लासेस कडून घेतलेल्या असतील. वी विल सिम्पली कॉल इट एज व्हॉट मल्टिपल इनहेरिटन्स. एक डायग्राम आहे त्याच्यात आपल्याला कळेल. नेक्स्ट मल्टी लेवल इनहेरिटन्स म्हणजे जिथे आता बेसिकली आपण काय म्हणू शकतो एकापेक्षा जास्त लेवल इन झाले. म्हणजे आता पहिली लेवल काय समजा फादर अँड सन सिंगल लेवल. ज्यावेळेस तिथे ग्रँड पॅरेंट्स आले त्याचे म्हणजे आजोबा आले, आजोबा वडील आणि मुलगा, हे काय झाले आता मल्टी लेवल झाले. Next is hierarchical inheritance. As a class has a number of subclasses, each of which may have subsequent subclasses continuing for number of levels so as to form a tree structure. We will call it as what hierarchical inheritance. आपण काय करतोय ट्री स्ट्रक्चर रिप्रेझेंट करतोय ज्याच्यामध्ये लीफ नोड्स स्टार्टिंग वेगवेगळे अशा कॉम्बिनेशन्सने पण आपण देऊ शकतो. सो लेट्स सी वन सिंपल डायग्राम टू अंडरस्टँड. So this is hybrid inheritance as the name suggests. Student, student, students. More than one classes. बघा single inheritance. Student responsible हा एक क्लास आहे. म्हणजे ह्या क्लासचा हा काय पेरेंट क्लास आहे, हा त्याचा चाइल्ड क्लास आहे. डायरेक्ट वी कॅन से सिंगल इनहेरिटन्स. आता इथं टायर्स टायर्स गाडीचं असू शकतं, कुठल्या टाईपचं असू शकतं, तर रबरचं असू शकतं. So it is having different what we can say. So this is we are calling multiple inheritance. So that represent multiple inheritance. म्हणजे ह्या पर्टिक्युलर क्लासच्या प्रॉपर्टीज ह्या एका वेळेस एकाच लेवलचे असतील. सगळ्यात महत्त्वाचं काय आहे हे लेवल्स. इथं अजून 2-3 क्लास जरी ऍड केले तरी आपण त्याला काय म्हणणार आहोत मल्टिपल इनहेरिटन्सच म्हणणार आहोत. हे झालं आपलं मल्टी लेवल इनहेरिटन्स. बघा इथली लेवल ह्या लेवलला ह्याच्यावर अजून एक लेवल आहे म्हणजे हे ग्रँड पेरेंट्स पेरेंट्स अँड डायरेक्टली वी आर कॉलिंग इज मल्टी लेवल इनहेरिटन्स. नाउ दिस इज अबाउट हायब्रिड इनहेरिटन्स मिक्स्ड. Doesn't matter the levels. It is combination simply single inheritance plus multiple inheritance or maybe multi-level inheritance. These all combined together we will call simply as a hybrid inheritance. Combination of multiple and multi-level inheritance so as to form a lactic structure. We will call it as what hybrid inheritance. This is hierarchical inheritance. You can remember a complete tree structure. Class vehicle. So the vehicle from land, vehicle may be running on water or vehicles that travels through air. For example, aeroplanes, helicopters. In case of water, we can take the example of ship, boat. The vehicles running on land, example may be car, bus. Even you can add one more option here as a separate class, trains. That particular runs on a track also. So we are calling it as a complete hierarchical inheritance representation. Class, number of subclasses, each of which may have a subsequent subclasses continuing for number of levels so as to form a particular tree structure. So you can just check it out. Each subclass has 2 subclasses, subsequent classes, exactly the same number we can represent over here as an hierarchical inheritance. So that's all about chapter 1. So quickly go through the syllabus and just check it out the syllabus. If any point remaining from my side, please let me know. Yes, any doubt, any point missing from my side, or any point that you would like to repeat? Yes, quickly replying. Yes, is any doubt there? Okay, do one thing, all of you. I just shared one link. Just click on the link. Yes, all of you. Just click on the link. Once you click over here, you will get an option here called as what? Software link, star UML, other tools. Now just click on this software link. Yes, all of you. Just click on this software link. I hope you are getting what I want to say. I hope you are getting what I want to say. I hope you are getting what I want to say. Okay. Now just simply click on this star UML and click on the download option. Click on download option. Why I'm sharing this link? Because the same version, because if you go with a different version, again different features are there. So what I want to show, while it may be the case that while I'm going to represent you, you may having different options over there. So better if you we all run with the same version, that will be helpful. So just download that file and get the installation quickly. It takes hardly 2 minutes, not more than that for the installation. You can just read this for the installation. You can read this. These are the simple steps I have given, which will help you for the installation purpose. Once you just after downloading, simply double click that exe file. It will ask you, welcome to the star UML setup. Just continue by clicking on next. Select an option, accept the agreement and click on next. Keep setting default as it is. Yes, all of you, start the installation. Start the installation. If any doubt there, please let me know. Now select this option, create a desktop icon and say finish. It takes hardly 2 to 3 minutes, not more than that. Now click on this option, finish. All of you done this? Yes, if any doubt, any query, please let me know. I hope you are done with this. Okay. Now after that, you can do one thing. Simply put this option, start, and search here for the star UML. Tab, select this and click on the launch option. Now, once you start with this, whenever you are operating with this star UML option, it is asking you new project by an approach. Now, what is meaning of this new project by an approach? As you said, while we are working with this UML technology, this UML was done by more than two scientists, Ikwa Jacobson, Grady Butch, and they have combined it with one more options called as what OOMT, Object Oriented Modeling and Design, or simply we can say OMT technology. So that may have a different approaches over there. So that is called the first one is if you see here, this is 4+1 view model. Now what is meaning of this 4+1 view model? These are nothing but the way we are going to interact, the way we are going to complete this entire system architecture. So that four views represent different perspectives and plus one view represent the process view. Second is default approach, and third is rational approach. The one of the major pioneer to promote this object oriented technology is by a company called as what, Rational Company. Earlier it was a separate company, but more than 10 years before, IBM has take over that company. Now it is known as a IBM Rational part. So we can select this rational approach. Always do remember, we are going to select this rational approach. So select this approach and say OK. So once you click on that rational approach, just this is the first screen, you can able to check it out. So if we start with this file, edit, format, model, view, tools, these are the different options. Most important part is what, model explorer. You are going to save here as a models, and you are having these views, 1 2 3 4 views. So use case view, logical view, component view, and deployment view. Inside that different views, we are going to draw different diagrams. So simply remember this as a model explorer, and inside the model explorer you are going to draw the different diagrams. The diagrams you need to add over here, and for respective diagrams you will get your respective toolbox over here. So just check, if I select the use case view, my toolbox will going to get changed. See here, my toolbox is get changed here. If I go with the logical view, and if I click by default one diagram there, that is what class diagram. If I select this accordingly, my toolbox will be going to get operate. So simply remember, the things what we are going to do here will be related to your model explorer. Now what we are, why we are going to use this because if you check out with this, these are the things, minimum 7 practicals we are going to perform as a part of a ICA, that is internal continuous assessment. So we will have the different scenarios over here. The first one will be prepare a list of objects that you would like to uh, handle and draw the class and object diagram for the same. So our first task will be drawing the class and object diagram. For how many systems we are going to draw? The first we will draw for the hospital management system, then air transportation system, then banking system, then library information system, railway reservation system, water management system, supermarket information system. So for these systems, we are going to draw two diagrams. Means for each case, we need to draw two separate diagrams. The first one will be the object diagram, and second will be the class diagram. The next, we need to draw dynamic and functional modeling for, again, different scenarios are there. Now dynamic and functional modeling, where we are going to work with state diagram, draw the state diagram for telephone answering machine. Telephone answering machine means, if you see, auto answering concept will be there. So that answer concept part will be discussed over here. So the next is, the machine should answer after 5 rings. If the telephone is answered before the 5 rings, the machine should not do nothing. So that we have to represent the scenario with some constraints. So number of attempts will be the 5. If 5 attempts is more than the 5 attempts, then the machine is going to get answer, or else the person who is attending will able to perform this. For that we need to represent the state diagram. The next is design factorial model for flight. What we can say, simply we are going to draw this functional model for flight simulator using the tool. So for completion of this entire ICA, we are going to take the help of the tool called as what? Star UML. So all of you need to install the software right now, and then we can start working on this. The next, draw object model with attributes and inheritance for water management system. Draw use case diagram for railway reservation system. Draw sequence and collaboration diagram for banking system. Draw deployment diagram for home network. That is, modern home usually have a network interconnected devices. So we can have a deployment diagram over there. And the next one is draw component diagram for online examination system. So if you check out this, you have to draw how many different types of diagrams. Just by reading the ICA, I can see the object diagram, I can need to draw the class diagram, then state diagram, then functional model. This functional model is nothing but, simply remember, the use case diagram and activity diagram. The next model we need to draw is with object model, again with attributes, that is nothing but diagram also. The next is use case diagram, sequence diagram, collaboration diagram, deployment diagram, and component diagram. So almost all basic 7 types of diagrams we are going to draw with the help of an application, or with the help of a software called as what? Star UML. So based on this Star UML, we are going to perform. So do one thing, I'm just giving 5 to 10 minutes time to you. Go for the installation. If any doubt, any query is there, please let me know. To complete installation for Star UML. To complete the installation, do it fast. Meanwhile, we'll take the attendance. If any doubt, let me know. Why attendance is so less? Only 40 students are there out of 70. 30 are absent. Why? Okay, no problem. All of you try for the installation. Meanwhile, I will complete the attendance part. So give your attendance. Roll number 1.
Present.
Give your attendance. Roll number 1.
Roll number 1 present.
Present. 2,
Present, sir.
3, 4, 5. Roll number 5. 6,
Present.
7, 8. Roll number 8. 9,
9 present, sir.
10,
Present, sir.
11,
Present, sir.
12,
Present, sir.
13, 14,
Present, sir.
15,
Present, sir.
16, 17, 18, 18, 19,
Present, sir.
20, 21,
Present, sir.
22,
Present, sir.
23, 24,
Yes, sir.
25,
Present, sir.
26, 27, 28, 29,
Yes, sir. Present.
29, 30, 30, 31,
Yes, sir.
32,
Present, sir.
33,
Present, sir.
34, 34, 35, 36, 37,
Present, sir.
38,
Present, sir.
39, 40, 41, 42, 43,
Present, sir. 43.
44,
Present, sir. 44.
45, 46, 47, 48,
Present, sir.
49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54,
54 present, sir.
55,
Present, sir.
56, 57, 58,
58 present, sir.
59,
59, sir.
59 present. Okay. 60, 61, 62, 63, 64,
Present, sir.
65, 66, 67,
Present, sir.
68,
Present, sir.
69,
Present, sir.
70,
58
Sir, roll
present,
number
sir. I agree.
28.
roll number 38.
Sir, roll number 5.
28.
Wait.
28. Roll number.
Roll number
Sir, roll number 28.
Sir, roll
20.
number 5.
Sir, 34.
7, sir.
Sir, 47.
Sir, roll number 7.
40,
Sir, 20.
Sir, roll number 58.
I hope you have done all of you have done the installation with StarUML. Any doubt there regarding the installation? Yes, reply anything. Yes, no. Okay, no doubt. Done with the installation? Now what I'm going to show you, you have your mini project. So first what we will do, go to an option, just click on this save option here, click on this save option and save with your roll number. Save with your roll number. I'm saving it here with my name. Location you can change accordingly. So I'm going to select the desktop, and from desktop I'll create a new folder, hands-on start UML. Inside that I will have my name and save this. Whatever the work we are going to. Now once you have saved this particular, now based on the project we need to assign the task. So select this untitled and give the name. Write your name of your project. For example, your mini project. So save it with your mini project. Give the same name. Whatever mini project name you have, write down that name. Okay. Now, first we will see how to draw the object diagram. So to draw the object diagram, we are going to take the help of logical view. Inside this logical view, just simply select this, right click and select an option, add a diagram. where you will get class diagram, use case diagram, sequence diagram, then collaboration diagram, then activity diagram, component diagram, deployment diagram, composite structure diagram, and robustness diagram. But here we are going to draw an object diagram, but what it shows, there is no need to draw the separate diagram for an object, because we can simply drag and drop the objects over here. So if I take example of this particular class, so I'll go to this option here to represent the objects and all. Select this main, continue with the same. You can check here option as an object. Select this, simply drag and drop here. Select the particular object and drag and drop here. That is the most simple part. You can rearrange it as you need this. Now rename that object. For example, I'm saying this as customer name. Second object I will add as bank name. Third object I will add saving account. Fourth object I will add as a ATM card. Now simple four objects here. Simple rectangle is there. How to represent the class in object in UML? Last lecture we have discussed. It is simple rectangle. It represents the object name. Now objects are here. I just want to show the relationship. So for the relationship we have a different types. Like we can go with association, directed association means unidirectional association, then aggregation, maybe composition, maybe generalization, or maybe dependency, or maybe realization, or simply you can go with the link option. ज्यावेळेस आपल्याला रिलेशन परफेक्ट माहित नसेल त्यावेळेस आपण आयदर असोसिएशन ने जाऊ शकतो किंवा लिंक ने जाऊ शकतो. पण as far as the rational approach is considered, we will prefer to go with association. एक simple म्हणून दाखवतो मी. So select this from computer name to the bank name. We will having this association objects interacting with each others. You can simply connect this part. So I'm representing this as a directed association also, just for the representation purpose, from this part to this parts. Done. Then customer name, bank name, saving account. Customer may have, for example, I'm just representing here, customer name also associated with saving name, and here I can say that the multiplicity part is there. See, if I say the visibility as a public, I just want to make it protected. That protected part also it is going to get covered. Then is specification. Over here is specified. Then names, enter in one name. I can say, just for example, HD as a mode of operation, and properties. So that is what another style I can use over here. The name, that bank name, I can say stereotype in single as a location. Then classifier slots is multi instances. depending on attributes I can add over here. See here. Accordingly that I am getting here multiple instances of the same classes depending on type of instances. So we are going to just represent it. Just for simplification I have drawn it. Now do one thing. The way I have represented it, try to draw it for your mini project. Simply what you need to do, you need to select the object, drag and drop. Simply select the object, simply click here and rename it and represent the relationship. You start it with simple association. You start it with writing simple association. Complete this task. I'm taking a pause here. You just complete this activity. Your task is to complete object diagram for your mini project. And I will share one link. On that particular link, you have to submit it. Are you getting what I say? Your task is to complete the object diagram for your mini project. So whatever the title you have with your mini project, for your mini project, try to complete the object diagram. That's all. And I am sharing a link. On that link, upload that diagram. If you are facing the problem right now with a tool or any software, you can draw it with a pen pencil also. Take the photo and send it. I'm sharing the link. You can share, you can upload it on a link also.